Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am Bank, otherwise known as Black Auntie No Kids, and I do appreciate you clicking on the video and joining me as I do reactions, provide commentary, and just give us a place to discuss what's going on here on these YouTube streets. As usual, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel if you already haven't. Let's get started. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is another throwback video, and I think these videos are important because I think for people who have not been following this saga for as long as someone like I have, again, I've been watching Live Through Reactors since around 2018, 2019. And I think a lot gets lost in the sauce. Now, this particular video was uploaded by our good sis Lanice TV. She has a treasure trove of throwback videos that will give you perspective to what's really going on or what was going on, and it will give you a great foundation to kind of sort through the BS that Liv is putting out here right now. So today Liv went live and I peeked in at it, and she has this new personality. I haven't decided what to call this personality because they deserve a name. I know she's so-called turned over a new leaf where she's not cursing, and she's really thinking about what she says before she says it. And she is just this empathetic, compassionate, sweet person that, that's always wanted to come out to the YouTube streets, but her circumstances would not allow her. And she was healing. She was healing, you guys. And I guess she has been delivered because now she's being magnanimous. She's being more thoughtful. She is actually reflecting on the things that she said. And she's trying to cultivate or curate this new vibe on her channel. I don't buy it. We'll see how long she's able to keep it up. But I found this this oldie but goodie from our good sis Lanice. And this took place around, I would say, February of 2020. And let's take a look because, in my opinion, really not much has changed with Liv. She resorts back to pattern. So we'll see how long she's able to keep up this current persona of being, like I said, this Miss Goody Goody, trying to really understand or reflect on what she's saying. My assessment is that she is looking back at these videos, but she's also finally, and this is something that's good. I'll give her this. That she's looking at the feedback from her audience, and she was pontificating on the whole Cassie situation, and she was getting some pushback. People wasn't buying into her stance on it, and now she is Cassie's soul sister. She can relate on so many levels of what's going on with Cassie, and she is, she's twisting it and turning it a little bit. Let's just see where this all goes. Just bear with me as I find this video. I saved it, but for some reason I'm not finding it. So bear with me here as I look for it.
You ladies don't even understand how long it took me to finally get it through my head that he didn't want me anymore. And it fucking hurt. It hurt so bad that he didn't want me anymore. But I was like, fine, fine. So what happens once Olivia finally realizes that he doesn't want her anymore? What happens, you guys? What the fuck happens? I leave him alone. I leave him the fuck alone. I give him what the fuck he wants. This is my whole thing. You do all of this. You get a girlfriend. You're living with the bitch.
Let me correct the record. It's actually February of 2021. I apologize.
You tell me you don't want me. You leave me and the kids. I come all the way back to fucking Texas for you, and you still don't want me. You're still fucking doing us dirty, leaving us for some bitch. And then I finally get it through my head. I'm like, okay, he doesn't want me. Cool. At least I'm here with my kids. Fine. And at this point, Oh, you know what? Yes, 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 yes. I'm doing me. I'm doing me. So he comes over. That's that night that you guys saw that video where I posted that I went through his phone. We had sex that night. Okay, so this is probably like a week or two after this that I finally get it through my head that he doesn't want me anymore. So, of course, like 2 weeks later after that, I'm doing me.
Notice how she has to point out that they had sex. You know, that at this point she's trying to this video is not just for us. This is for Antonisha or Nisha. So she has to make sure she includes this in her storyline. Now, mind you, during this time she's messing with Brandon. So keep that in mind.
It was over. It was over. He was so upset. He had to get his family back. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so he went and got his shit out the girl's house. I'm sure I told you guys this before. I, me, me. After he went and got his shit out of her house and he came and he was gonna move back, he was gonna move with me. He knew. He knew that I was never gonna forgive him. He knew. He's like, you're never gonna get over what I've done to you. You're never gonna get over this. I couldn't even get over the fact that he cheated on me when I was pregnant. Now, maybe that's not right. And if you decide to be with somebody, you should let go of the shit that they've done to you in the past. If they stop doing it. If they stop doing it. If they stop doing it. You know what I mean? Because some people do change. I'm sure some people do change. I honestly, you guys, I don't know. I mean, I think that people change because I've changed. I've really changed. But he was never going to change. He was never going to change. I always told him, it doesn't matter if you're in Dallas and I'm in Africa. Your heart should be with me. If you love me the way you do, you should, it don't matter where I'm at because you're still talking to me like I'm your girl. You're still telling me you love me. You're still.
Okay, I've watched this a couple of times and I always get stuck at this part from the first time I watched it to right now. So apparently Jerrod, it was I think it was okay. She was okay with his cheating, as she states that he's a prolific cheater, as long as he didn't fall in love. Because again, remember, she's effing around with Brandon. But he has committed the ultimate sin because he has apparently fallen in love with this girl. But as we watch this, you'll see that she kind of trips herself up through this psychotherapy she's doing with us online. Um, she clearly she tries to act like she recognizes the fact that she is not being faithful too, but the onus is on him. And now I think I'm getting it that the reason why she feels that way is because he has expressed to Antonisha that he's in love with her. In prior times that he was just quote unquote messing around. Now he's actually fallen in love. But again, she kind of backpedals on that or discounts the strength of his and Antonisha's relationship.
Playing with my mind and my heart and my body. Like it's so crazy now. And it's like now that I'm away from him and I don't speak to him, I don't have nothing to do with him. I see him for who he is. I finally see it. Finally see it. Finally see it. But the whole time I was there. What? What? Yeah, go ahead. At the table. The whole time I was there, he was trying to have sex with me. He was trying to be around me. Even after he tried to move his stuff back in, and he realized it wasn't gonna work because I wasn't gonna get over it. I wasn't gonna get over it. I was never gonna look at him the same. And I tried. I tried though. I really tried to make myself look at him the same, but I couldn't. And he knew that. So what did he do? He moved his shit right back in with her. So once again, he went from her to me back to her. Okay, that's fine. He moved back in with her. But all the while, he's still trying to come back and be around me, be in my presence, in just around me. And people around me could see it. You know what I mean? Like People would tell me that were around me when he would come get his kids, man, that nigga was like this. Like he was just like glued
Who's
to
these
me.
people,
He wasn't even
Olivia?
it's just ridiculous. Oh my god, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyway, when Brandon started coming around and Brandon was like, nah, 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 this shit's done with you and him. Of course that upset John. So everybody
Side
thinks
note,
that
she's calling
he
Jerrod
left me, which he did.
John.
He left me in Texas. I mean, he left me in Florida. But the thing about him is, like I said, if I never had posted, if I had never posted Brandon on my social media, you don't have to defend yourself. Oh, I know I don't have to defend myself. I'm just getting sick of the lies. I'm getting sick of the rumors. I'm getting sick of all this bullshit about me. I'm getting sick of it. And then he has the nerve. Somebody, y'all send me every fucking thing. He has the nerve to say I'm playing victim. How? How am I playing victim? I am not a fucking victim. I packed my shit up and I fucking left. And no, he wasn't trying to serve me divorce papers, stupids. All these stupid bitches out here that think they know what they fucking talk about. He doesn't even file for fucking divorce. Stupids. Okay.
So if anyone is lost and wasn't following back then, Olivia basically hightailed it down to Texas to get Jerrod back after he left her in Florida after the marriage. And she found out about Antonisha. And then she decided to try to make Jerrod jealous by hooking up with Brandon. That was crazy. That was really crazy. I'll have some videos about her time with Brandon. When she realized that was not going to work, she basically left and hightailed it back to Florida. She's trying to make it sound like she left Jerrod. No, Jerrod left her. The last time they were officially together, Jerrod left Olivia. Okay, so the end of the relationship, not going back. I'm not talking about this current stuff that's going on, whether or not he spun the block with her. I'm talking about when they were officially done. Jerrod left Olivia. She likes to twist it again. She's the queen of reimagining. She likes to position the whole breakup as she left him. No, he left her. That's just what it was.
Okay. You would think a man that's so over me and so in love, head over heels. Why hasn't he filed? Why? I'll wait. The fuck? I have rejected him so much. So now he's with a bitch that won't reject him no more. He rejects her. You understand me? He rejects her, but she stays.
How?
And it was
Explain,
kind
Olivia.
of like the same thing with him and I. Like I would reject him, but he would stay. But he would still fuck around, so it wouldn't really matter. And who knows what she? I don't know. I don't care what they do. But I'm just saying, he's fine. He has like a security blanket now because no matter what,
So
she
this
won't
is
leave
this
him.
is where I say she twisted because Gerard said he loves Nisha, or she's seen the text, and so she's getting the vibe that he's actually in love with Nisha. He's living with her. And yes, she does have a video up, and I did find that video, so that may be coming soon, where she supposedly went with him to get all his stuff out of Nisha's house to move back in with her. But that like lasted what, a couple of days, if that, if it's true, because I don't remember him being on camera with her during this time. But now she's trying to discount their relationship. She's trying to say, oh, well, he didn't really want to be with her and blah blah blah. But Gerard basically has never went back to Olivia, quote unquote, officially since he left her ass in Florida. She's spinning tails right now, and she's again telling the story to make herself look good and to make herself look like the victim, and to make Nisha look bad. True to pattern, what she does currently today.
He could go marry a whole bitch and come back to her. He could go fuck a whole bitch and come back to her. That must feel amazing to his soul and his spirit. He can just be exactly who he is, which is like a fucking dirtbag. And that's awesome. Like I said, they're made for each other. Okay? I'm not hurt. I don't give a fuck. Thank you. Thank you, side chick girlfriend. Thank you for taking my husband off of my hands. I really appreciate it. I really
Lies,
fucking appreciate it. I really do.
lies.
I really do. I really do because I don't want that mess. He's a mess. She's the rebound. Of course she's the rebound, but that's not even the point. I hope that they stay together and they be together forever because with her around, he doesn't fuck because this is how he can upset you. This is how he can hurt you. He don't hurt me no more. Being with a bitch, being with this sideline hoe, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. That's what you are. You're a sideline hoe. You'll be a sideline hoe today, tomorrow. You were back then. You'll always be one. I don't care who you're with. I don't care that he's with her, she's with him. I don't care. I don't care. I care about my babies. My babies are my heart.
So this rant right here clearly lets you know her audience is Nisha. Now she's talking to her loyalty gang and she's talking to quote unquote her haters. But this whole video was to pour salt or to throw salt in, his relationship with Nisha. I will give Olivia this. She comes up with some funny phrases. I won't lie. I giggled at this sideline hoe stuff, and she has a fly, slick mouth, and I see why she dropped out in the 8th grade because I'm pretty sure those girls were tagging that ass, and if they didn't get a chance, they were on it. That's why she hightailed it, got Miss Stella to sign those papers so she can drop out because that mouth is reckless. And that's why she stays holed up in her apartment because to this day, she's only perfected it. Can you imagine Olivia out in the wild? And we know what it's like outside. We know what it's like out in these streets. And the kind of mouth that she has, being around people, being around black folks, this wouldn't fly. She would catch quite a couple of fates, and she ought to be glad that she did hook up with Jerrod because I've watched Niecy stuff. I've seen his other sisters and how they handle her with kid gloves. But speaking from someone who had a brother who would bring around females that needed to be tagged, luckily they stayed away. But Olivia was all up in their mix, and like I said, it was only a matter of time before someone in that, let me just put it this way, a part of me truly believes they were, I hate to say this, but they sound like they were a little bit bedazzled by Olivia. I'm not from Texas. I know they're from Oak Cliff. I know very little about it. I know somewhat about it from Niecy and the way she presented it and talked about it. And I know, also that it's pretty much, I wouldn't say the hood, because I'm not going to say that. I don't know anything about Oak Cliff, but I'm just going to say it's a predominantly black area where there's some good old country folk, but it sounds to me, particularly in Gerard's family, they were color struck. They were impressed by her California biracial Valley girl accent, and they were a little enamored by her. And they let her slide on a couple of things. But I also know politics, family politics. Again, I didn't suffer fools. And the one time that one of my brothers um, exes, one of his mothers of his kids try to get fly with my mother. Let me tell you, my niece, God rest her soul, was ready to ride out, and I would have backed her 100%. She was going to catch some hands, and Olivia could not be walking around or talking about my family because we would have had bail money. She's reckless, but I'm going to let her finish, popping her shit.
So I talked to the woman in charge. This fucking bitch told me, "Oh, I can't tell you. I need to discuss it with Jerrod first." You guys don't understand. You guys don't understand. And I did nothing to this man. I did nothing to him. I was playing by his rules. This is what he wanted. He wanted to be with the bitch. He wanted me over here. He could come and try to fuck on me whenever he wanted to. His kids were over here, and he was with this bitch. Mind you, I didn't even tell y'all this. Before he was living somewhere, and then I guess they had moved to another location. This is how deep this man played games with my head. And I wasn't even trying to be with him. I wasn't even trying to be with him. I was with Brandon. I was just picking up my kids. We were doing the exchange thing, okay? Because he wasn't allowed to come to my house anymore because Brandon, after the whole, whatever, it's just he wasn't. No, he couldn't come over anymore. So whatever. We had to meet public places. So we met up at his sister's house. We're outside. And I'm just there to get my kids, y'all. I didn't even get out the car. What does he do? He puts all the kids in the car. He pulls me out the car, makes me stand there for an hour and talk about our relationship, what I did to him. It's always what I did to him, what I did to him. And then he's touching on me. He tells me he's about to move. Oh, you want to move? I'm about to get my own place. I'm about to this. I'm like, okay, well, cool. Get your own place. Like, the fuck you want me to do? You want me to give you a high five? I have my own place. The fuck? Okay, you're about to get your own place. Good for you. Girl, he's so nasty. Ugh, just what God. I was just like, okay, like, that's cool. Like, I was always just trying to, like, get him off of me so I
It's
could just be.
amazing how gross Jerrod is, and she still does this to today, but she's let him touch on her and feel on her. I have video, and I keep saying I have video. I have a whole collection. I had nothing but time, okay? But I have video footage of them together. Back, it's a throwback. This is when she basically wrangled him away from Nisha, got him to come back to Florida, and they set the notorious wedding date. And she is all over this man. I don't see him really doing too much with her, touching on her, pushing up on her. I mean, I know that Jerrod at one point really was into Olivia. I mean, the man was looking at her hemorrhoids. So don't get me wrong. I do know that. But she acts like she didn't really like him. I personally feel like that she just used him as her black buck, for lack of a better term. Okay. She liked having this power over him. She knew that Jerrod was color struck, and I think to some degree that's what it was. I mean, I think he was used to dealing with brown girls, black women, true sisters, and Olivia was something new, and he was kind of whipped by it. So yeah, but this whole he couldn't keep his hands off of me. He's this whole if it's over, it's over. Why are you letting this man touch on you, sis? Explain that. I mean, even to this day, could you explain that to us?
Go, bro. Anyway, back to right before Christmas. He wouldn't tell me where my kids were. The fucking person at the daycare wouldn't tell me where my kids were. And I hear horror stories about kids at home daycares. Like, no, 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 no. I don't know who these people are. These people could do anything to my kids in a home daycare. And I know how he is. Jerrod is very, oh, my bad. John is very irresponsible. Very irresponsible. Very irresponsible. I was the decision maker in the relationship. You guys wonder why I ran mostly everything? Because I'm just gonna say he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. Okay, you know what I mean. When I saw that post that somebody sent me today, talking about what did the post say? Something about being the victim and something, something, something. I was like, does he even understand this shit, or did somebody else tell him to post this? Because this is not even shit he would even say or think. Like Jerrod, I keep saying his name. John is like a country bumpkin. Okay, I'm sorry, he is. He is, and I don't have no problem with that. Okay, I was once very in love with the country bumpkin. He's just very like he's very peanut butter jelly, baby. It's not really much. It's not really less. You know what I mean? Whatever. Now that I guess he's with this new person that can read and write and comprehend certain things because she has nothing better to do. He feels like he's smarter or something. Like he's upgraded and he's smarter than
You
somebody.
had nothing
Okay,
better to
cool.
do
That's
when you
fine.
were entertaining him.
But when he took my kids, and it took days to get them back, you guys, and I didn't even know where they were. Mind you, he knows where I live. He knows where I live. He pops up whenever the fuck he wants to. He knows the car I drive. He knows the school they went to, but I wasn't allowed to know where
Well,
he
he
lived.
should.
I couldn't know the daycare. Like, he was so unfair. And he wanted me to continue to play these games with him when I'm not being treated fairly. He never gave me a good amount of child support or help or paid a bill
Don't
or
pay me no
help me with a
mind. I'm
motherfucking
sorry,
thing.
y'all.
I wasn't even looking
I'm
for that
crazy.
because I'm a
That's
very
what it is.
independent woman and I can do the shit on my own. You feel me? But still, you would think a man would want to help the mother of his children. But, once again, he got with this weirdo who doesn't have any kids and is very jealous and would rather have him pay for things for her than for his kids.
Okay, speaking as someone who does not have kids, why does that make someone weird? And Antonisha is a young woman. She's still in her childbearing years. Now we fast forward to today. We know that Jerrod has a vasectomy, but with medical science today, he can get that reversed if necessary. They may have to jump through some hoops. They may have to see a fertility doctor, but it's not out the realm of possibilities. Maybe when Ryan gets a little older, or look, maybe when Robin graduates high school, or maybe when they get Olivia out of their lives, pretty much where she's moved on and has a new man, or whatever it'll take for her to leave them alone, maybe Jerrod and Nisha will decide to have kids. But the fact that she finds it weird that Nisha does not have kids, and this is just based on the fact that she doesn't have kids. I know she goes into the whole thing of why would she want to take on kids from another woman. Fair question. Fair question. But outside of that, I think she just thinks it's weird that a woman would not just go out there and lay down and have babies with the man just because she's in love with them. And for me, for someone who has been in love, who's had relationships, that has no kids, and that was a choice, it's not weird to me. That's just my opinion. You can tell me what you think in the comments.
Kids, it's very sick and weird, but whatever, like whatever. I was still playing along. I was still letting him see kids, take his kids. Okay. So when that shit happened around Christmas, and he finally, I'm telling you guys that this was the night before Christmas Eve. I was crying all day long, all day long. I just wanted my kids, and he told me, "No, I'm taking my kids. We're going out of state." I'm like, "You're gonna take my kids?" He's like, "Yeah, you'll see them January 1st. You'll see them January 1st. We'll see you next year." He was being so mean to me, bro. And I was like, "Whoa, like for what? I didn't do shit to you. This whole time I didn't do shit to you." But he's like, "No, I'll see. We'll see you next year. We'll see you next year." I'm like, "You're gonna leave me in this state. I have no family. You're gonna take my kids and spend Christmas. This wasn't even talked about, agreed upon, nothing. You're gonna take my kids and you're gonna go to another state with this bitch that I already don't want my kids around, but I'm trying to just be cool and cordial with you. You're gonna do me like that?" He said yes. So, okay. So I cried all day. He called me. I think I was crying. I was like, "Please just bring my kids back." That's what he likes. He likes when I'm weak. He likes when I'm crying. He likes that shit. I think it makes him feel like he's in control or something. Whatever. I let him think he was in control for a minute, okay? He agreed to meet me at Walmart. So me and Brandon got in the car. Brandon went in the store, and I was outside. I was waiting for him. He drove up to my car. He was like, "All right, I'll bring you the kids. I'll bring you the kids." I guess he felt bad. So, but I don't think he felt bad. I think that his plan was never really to take them. He was just trying to fuck me up until the day. Like he was just trying to make my life a living hell. I don't think he ever planned to take them. Because I'm sorry, I don't know. You guys don't know him like I know him. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care. He does not care. If he cared, he would have never left Florida for a female if he cared about his kids because he had all the resources here to stay with his kids. You understand? If he cared, he would have never told me, "Don't come out here with my kids." Like a man who really gives a fuck about his kids moves completely different.
And bingo. So remember in previous videos, I think I had talked about this, that Olivia went down there to get Jerrod back. He never asked for her to come down there. You heard her say it. He told her, "Don't come to Texas." And in her mind, he left her to go back to Nisha, which it could be true. I think it's 50% that he was done with his relationship with Olivia, and 50% that he left this woman for Olivia and he regretted it and he had a chance to get her back. But the important part, the part that I want you to concentrate or focus on, rewind it if you have to. Olivia has admitted Jerrod said, "Don't come to Texas." And she did anyway. And just something else that baffles me is that she was like, "I didn't do anything to him. Why can't he, be nice to me?" She takes no accountability for her actions. She still doesn't to this day. She minimizes, she will quote unquote do a mea culpa, but she then, you know, attaches it to something that Jerrod did, and she inflates what he did to make it seem bigger and more transgressive than what she did. You know, she's really good at this, and I am really starting to get the full feel of what a narcissist is. I mean, people throw around that term narcissism and narcissist so much here on the internet, and I never doubted that she was one. But rewatching these videos or going back and watching videos I've never seen regarding this whole Gerard situation, everything is about her. It's hyper focused on how she's feeling, her emotions, and how she perceives things. Olivia has no ability, she has zero insight. She does not know how to step outside of a situation to reflect and take ownership of her part in it. Something always happens to her. She is always the victim. And she has figured out now how to kind of couch that into a pretty picture. Her confidence level is through the roof, and I gotta say, looking at these old videos and how she would come on here, the way she does now, it's astounding. She really has morphed and matured, and well, I'm not going to say matured. She has grown into this caricature, and now she definitely looks like one. I mean, I was watching the video today, and in that video, she looked like a character. She looked like a AI character. I could probably create an AI photo that looks somewhat like her. I can literally script out her whole acting out in virtual reality and in artificial intelligence because that's what she's showing us. This is not the real Olivia. Olivia doesn't know who she is, and it's really sad. And but it's fascinating to me. That's why you see National Geographic on the screen. So if this is your first video and you're wondering what the heck does National Geographic mean, it's like National Geographic, where they looked at places from around the world, people from the around the world, societies, how they lived, the animal planet, all that stuff. The internet has opened that up to us. So for me, I call it National Geographic for people. They open their doors. People like Olivia open their doors. They open up their whole world to us, and we can sit back and watch. I just have commentary about it, and I listen. I don't watch Olivia, or I didn't watch Olivia unless I was watching her through a reactor. I now have started watching her or some of her content. I still find it hard to digest because her spirit is just really dark, but she is fascinating and she is a case study. But yeah, this I really like looking at this older stuff because she's less guarded. Now, again, she literally takes her time and thinks about what she's going to say. She is writing a script. Olivia is a creative, okay? You see that in her artistry with her makeup and her doing tattoos and her singing. She is a creative. And in fact, putting content up here on YouTube is part of being a creative. So she's building these fantasies, and I can just see it now. You know, the wheels turning even as I'm making this video. She's somewhere mentally writing out this script. She's decided to play make believe here on the internet, and she can be whoever she wants to be because who's going to check her? No one wants to be around her to keep her honest. There's nobody out there that can spill her tea. You and me and people who have a full life, if we acted out like she does, we have people in our lives that hold us accountable. And we know Stella is too busy operating from a place of guilt for what she didn't do for this girl. And now she is trying to parent an adult that's constantly throwing a tantrum. Constantly. I mean, she's a mother. She is a mother of 5 kids. And yet she's still acting out. You know, Dr. Phil said something on one of his shows years ago. And by the way, I don't watch him anymore, but that's a different topic. But when I was in my Dr. Phil day, I'll never forget when he said the behaviors of a 3-year-old toddler, you need to address it when they're 3 years old. When they're acting out at 3, you need to address it and you need to fix it. Because if you don't, you'll be dealing with it at 13. And it's going to be way worse. That's why I like the super nanny. I wish that copyright and all that stuff wasn't so strict. I would love to react to the super nanny because Jill was on point. And I actually learned some things from her. Even though I don't have kids, I have nieces and nephews, great nieces and nephews. And some of the techniques that she talks about, I have employed, and it's helped me be less stressed. But I've talked long enough. And if you have, entertained me through this rambling, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I'm just gonna ride this thing out. I'm gonna let the spirit lead me in these reactions. And moving forward, it won't just be Olivia. I promise you. In fact, I have something special on deck for you guys. Um, let's just say I think I found Liv's cousin. They may not know they're related, but their circumstances are very similar. Um, in that neither one of these heifers want to pay child support. So it's a story time that I was able to source, or rather, I won't say source. That sounds so contrived, but I ran across, because honestly, I ran across it, and I think I saw this earlier this year, and I had downloaded it and I planned on sharing it on YouTube. I just didn't know when. So stay tuned. I may even do it tonight, get it started, get at least part one of it up, because it's a doozy and you want to see it. And by the way, I don't think I introduced myself, which if this is it's kind of late to do this, but humor me. I'm B.A.N.K, Black Auntie, no kids. Some of you have seen me in other content creators chats. I mod for a few of them. This is my second channel. It's called B.A.N.K Statements. And as you saw in the intro, I talk about it all. So let me hush my mouth and let's get back to Olivia, because I'm pretty sure she's going to set me off again.
From this man, because I've seen a man who really cares about his kids. All of this, oh, I just want my kids, I just want my kids, I just want my kids. All this bullshit he's doing right now, this is to hurt me. This is to affect me. Okay? He wants me to come back to Texas. That's who he wants to come back to Texas. So he can run me. And he could hurt me. He thought the little Valentine's bullshit was hurting my nigga. I don't care. I don't care. We don't care over here. We don't care over here. He, like, everything he does, and it was confirmation when he first posted that
What
girl's
did I
pictures.
say?
He
It's
first
all
posted her
about
pictures
her.
after I put the boyfriend tag up. Date check it if you want to, because I asked him like the day after he posted those pictures. I was like, why did you post those pictures? Like, you know what you're doing. You're just trying to start some drama. And he's like, oh well, you posted
See,
the boyfriend tag, so that was a cute little
yeah,
video. That was a cute
right.
little video. I'm like, are you hurt? Are you mad? Like, who cares? So if I never posted Brandon and the boyfriend tag and the Christmas photos of us on Christmas, girl, that set him the fuck off. That set him the fuck off, man. And I was like, okay. So this nigga's just doing all of this shit because he's hurt. He's hurt. So fast forward to after Christmas, New Year's Day. New Year's Eve was our anniversary. I didn't call him. He didn't call me. We didn't speak because after I was at the fucking Walmart. Why didn't you guys tell me? When he brought me my kids to Walmart, I was like, bro, just leave the damn kids. But here we go. You gotta grab me up. You gotta hold me. Talk some shit to me. I was like, you are not gonna keep doing this to me. So I sure did. I was like, stop. Get off of me. Leave me alone. And then, of course, like some people that were shopping at Walmart saw him doing that. And they were like, bro, leave her alone, bro. Leave her alone. He's like, no, this is my wife. Oh, with that wife bullshit. This is my wife, bro. This is my wife, bro. I was like, Jerrod, let me go. Leave me alone. Go. Just go. You brought my kids. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Go. Whatever. He was like, you fucking bitch. He was mad. He was so mad. And I'm sorry, it's not funny. It's just funny because he's so emotional, but the way he expresses his emotions, and he's so disrespectful to me now. I would have called the police. Yeah, I should have called the police on his ass so many fucking times, but I never did. I never did because I'm a real bitch. I'm a real down ass bitch. But I was down for the wrong person. I was down for the wrong person because he's not down for me. Oh my gosh, you guys, he plays so dirty. So dirty. New Year's Day comes, and his grandmother passes away. That was really sad. That was really, really sad. And it's unfortunate that happened. She was very sweet to me. Um, she was very sweet to me. She was very, very, very always sweet to me. I have nothing bad to say about Miss Dorothy. She was very, very sweet. I mean, I knew her for 8 fucking years. Okay, but who does he take to her funeral? And I'm sorry, it makes me laugh because it's like it's sick. Like when I look at the funeral pictures, I'm like, bro, where's your kids? Okay, we'll just go lay with her. She'll go back to sleep. Anyway, his grandma had passed, and I wasn't there for him. And I think he expected that for some strange reason. He expected me to be there for him because he kept telling me, "You didn't even care, bro. You didn't even do nothing, bro." But when the day his grandmother passed, he asked me if he could get his kids. Okay, now this is a couple days after he took my kids and wouldn't tell me where they were. I said no, nope, mm-mm, mm-mm, nope, nah, you can't. So anyway, after that had happened, I was not there for him at all. I was not there for him at all, you guys. I was not. I was actually the opposite. I acted like I didn't care. And I did that because how much do you expect me to care when you're living with a whole bitch? Why do you want your wife to care? Why do you want comfort from your wife when you have a girlfriend? And how do you even expect for me to even want to comfort you when you are doing what you're doing? Like that's when I never understood. Like you're doing what you're doing, but you want me to comfort you. Mm-mm. Nope. Tina, welcome, baby. Tina's a new member. Hi, Tina. No, it wasn't gonna happen. He wasn't about to get it from me. I just couldn't. I didn't have it in me. I was so fucked up from everything. And then, the passing of his grandma did hurt. And it sucks that we couldn't have experienced that together because, like I said, at the end of the day, I knew her for 8 years, 8+ years. I was around. You know what I mean? This new person, she wasn't around. She came around after I had left Texas to go to Florida. There she was, just has to be in the mix. Weirdo, man, straight weirdo. I never knew, and that's why I don't trust that woman because I don't know any other woman like that. You know, in this world, like she knows every single time we've had sex and he has kids and we're married and he left you to marry me. He left you to move back in with me when he knew I wasn't gonna get over it. He went back again to you. It's like it's so sick, and that's why I don't have no type of like feelings like, oh, I'm missing out on something. Like no, like I'm missing out on what I just already went through with him. He's a cheater. He's a liar. And baby, if you think that he would do it to me, but he ain't gonna do it to you. Oh, okay. That's not how the world works. I'm sorry to break it to you. And I don't care. I don't care. Um but I did leave Texas and I'm happy that I left. I left when I realized because after his grandma passed, his mind and after his grandma passed and all I kept asking him was for a divorce after that, he was so mad. He was so fucking mad that I did not care that his grandma passed and I wasn't giving him the attention and the you got me fucked up if you really think that I'm about to just switch it on for you after you've been doing all that you've been doing. No. It don't work like that. So the last time that we like had a real conversation before he like really flipped the script on me was I called him. He was at work because he always had an inviting way about him. Like he would answer my phone calls. He would invite me in.
Now, Olivia said a mouthful in those last few minutes, and the things that I keyed on, and as I listened to this, was number one, she met up with Jerrod in the Walmart parking lot. And she said that Brandon came with her, and Brandon stepped into the store so they can do the handoff of the kids. So Brandon's in the store, and to me, that's a smart move, bro. I don't even know why you came, but you did. But you realized you didn't need to be in the middle of the ish, And Brandon went into the store, and she had this exchange with Jerrod, and she talks about Jerrod pushing up on her and trying to be, all touchy feely with her in a parking lot in front of his kids, in front of strangers. Strangers who thought to intervene because she looked uncomfortable in how he claimed her. Again, she is talking to her haters, she's talking to her loyalty gang, and most importantly, she's talking to Nisha. She wants Nisha to know this is what went down on the exchange of the kids, okay? So Olivia is weaving this tale. She's interjecting, like I said, all this salt, and she's telling Nisha what's going on in real time, whether it's true or not. I tend not to believe Olivia. I believe she exaggerates and reimagines the way things actually happen, and there's documented proof of that. But I'm just going with her storytelling here, okay? I'm going to entertain her. I'm going to humor those who tend to believe the garbage that's coming out of her mouth. So Brandon is in the store. Jerrod is getting all freaky deaky with her. And she is okay with this. Olivia, Nicole Johnson is okay with this. Now, listen, I am older than her. I come from a different time. I'm a different generation. But one thing is consistent throughout time is that you don't put men in these kind of situations. And luckily for her, she got to, I'm not going to call them beta males, but they're chill. She ain't got no rowdies about it because this could have been a very bad situation. It's already toxic, as the young people like to throw around and use. It's a toxic situation. But you have all this animus and all this turmoil going on, and you are perfectly okay with bringing a man around your husband. Okay. And that, and speaking of that, just notice how she doesn't talk about the physical abuse that she likes to sprinkle in now whenever she's talking about Jerrod and what's going on with them. The threat of physical violence. You notice that's missing. And this is in the height of their drama. Now one could argue she didn't talk about it because she was still so emotionally attached to Jerrod, and she was still, whipped up. She didn't realize it. She didn't see it for what it is. And that's the generous assessment. But I just have my doubts about that too. I'm not saying that Jerrod is a prince, that he's perfect. He has his flaws. And moving forward, we'll see when he's really, basically all up Olivia's ass crack. Okay, like she likes to say. He was there. He married the girl. So there's no denying that. Also, she starts to talk about the funeral, the whole situation with his Gma passing away. And I'll give her this. She spoke really nicely about his Gma, his grandmother. She said she was always nice to her, and she felt that was very sad. And that's the closest to emotion that I've seen Olivia express, like outside of herself, because everything is me, and all the other videos that I've been watching. So I'll give her that. And she also says that he wants comfort from her. He's looking for sympathy, wanting her to be there for him. And if that is to be believed, she's definitely right to feel that way. That no, bro, you can't expect me to be emotional support when you've been dogging me out and we've been going through all of this. So that is true. I mean, if that is the case, I can see why she feels that way. And someone like Olivia would definitely feel that way. But she also references like why the kids were not taken to the funeral. And I'm just going to talk about me because I lost my mother's mom, my grandmother. I was 5 years old, and I didn't go to that funeral, but I do remember my mother being sad and the grief, and I didn't have a lot of recollection of my grandmother in the sense of an emotional attachment. Um, my point is, I don't think that children necessarily have to go to funerals. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but to me, that would not have been a big deal because death is a heavy topic, and it can be very scary for kids. I hate to say that, but you're in a room full of emotional adults. So I think that to me that wouldn't even been an issue. But I don't know if Olivia has ever been to a funeral, to be quite honest, and I don't think she really knows um, that there's a lot of consideration that need to be taken into that needs to be discussed before you bring children to a funeral, especially in her situation. The only caveat I would add is that apparently Olivia made the decision to not be there for Jerrod in the manner that she's intimating. But I will say that she could at least have sent her condolences. And it sounds like she didn't do that. She could have at least texted Gerard and say, I'm sorry about the passing of your grandmother. She was always good to me. May she rest in soul. I'll be thinking about you or saying a prayer. Yada, yada, yada. Something very benign, just acknowledging that to Gerard. But again, in her narcissist brain, she can't see that that's what a compassionate person would do. That's what someone she's trying to pass herself off today, or rather yesterday, because it's already past midnight as I'm doing this video. But Olivia's cosplaying a human being right now, and part of that is her empathy. She had no empathy for Gerard. If I had kids with someone and the relationship was set up like hers and Gerard's, I could, and I have a rational thinking brain. And I'm not saying that we're doing a back and forth. We could be doing a back and forth thing, but I'm not a narcissist like Olivia. I can say, you know what, it's time to chill. This is not the moment. I have plenty of time to be with this ninja. Let me send my condolences. And that's something she withheld because that's just, again, who Olivia is. Um, she reintroduces sex back into the fold. As usual, she has to make this all sexual. I mean, she does that even to this day. And again, just through what I have been able to collect, especially when she's talking to Gerard, it's about money, sex, and power. Okay, and respect. So I guess it goes into those four things. But just being a human, like I said, I don't know if she's ever really been in touch with her emotions. And I suspect that is a trait of being a narcissist, being detached from true emotion. So when she talks about the intimacy part, the sex part, she's talking to Nisha specifically. Of course, she likes to remind us that she is the sexiest thing walking to Gerard. She is the height or the pinnacle of his ideal of the perfect woman. It just didn't work out with them. But on his weakest moments, in his weakest time, he will always default to her. That's why she's able to run this story today. And she has weaved this over years, you guys. This is something she's been doing for years. And I think that we've got conditioned to believe her. And I will say this again. I'll just say this. Some people have an opposing opinion from mine, and that's perfectly okay because we process and we see things differently. I'm not going to die on this hill. If it comes out that she releases actual video footage or someone else releases actual video footage or even Gerard comes out and says it out of his own mouth, him or Nisha, says it, I won't be shocked, and I won't even. I'm a woman enough to take the hits if somebody wants to say "na na na boo boo." I told you so. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. It was a great mystery. I just decided it was going one way, and that Olivia's a liar. So I'm not worried about that. I'm not concerned about that at all. But yeah, Olivia is talking to Nisha and she's talking to us to convince us that Gerard will always be hers. She's doing it now. She's just not using that uh, gutter language that she's using today about that D being hers. She does start to talk about divorce talk, and that's where I paused it because she was really confident here that he was never going to serve her with divorce papers or she was never going to receive the divorce papers. And just like she has in the past, Olivia thought that this relationship with Nisha, it was not going to last. And her last ditch effort, believe it or not, wasn't her driving down to Texas. It was her taking the kids and running away in the cover of night from Texas. That was her last trick. She knew that the last time she took those kids from Jerrod, he came back to her. She's using those kids as a pawn, and I stand on that 100%. You can't convince me otherwise.
To speak to him, you know what I mean? And towards the end, I wasn't inviting to him anymore. Sorry, guys. I wasn't being invited to him anymore. And, after his grandma had passed, I was still saying, like, I want my divorce. Like, where's my divorce? And he hung up on me. And I think I got the truck somewhere after that. And that really set him off. But it's like, I just don't understand what you expect, bro. What do you expect? It's so sickening. Anyway, so now he's trying to play it like he's so happy, he's so in love. Okay. Before I came to Florida, he came to my house once again unannounced. He knocked on the door. He told me I wasn't gonna leave. I can't leave. Blah 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 blah. And I said, yes, I'm leaving. Not once was he like, my kids, Olivia, my kids. No, he was like, you're not gonna leave. You're not allowed to leave. Excuse me? Yes, I am. The fuck? I shouldn't even have came out here in the first fucking place. What you mean? And they weren't divorce papers. Sorry, bitches in the back. I know you guys think you know everything. No, he never filed. He hasn't filed. No. He actually filed some other shit to make me stay out there. And I was never served. I had no idea he was trying to serve me until I got here and I was served here. But yeah, it's all a game. It's all a game at this point, and it's the game of let's take Olivia down. That's the fucking game. And I'm gonna get my kids and I'm gonna raise them. He's not even stable. He's not even stable enough to raise them. Why would you take? And he always told me he would never try to take my kids away from me. He always told me that. He always told me that. And what is he? My sister even told me. My sister was like, wow, he told her he would never try to take the kids away from me. Nothing like that. Well, anyway, I just don't understand what is the end result here because I feel like you already got everything that you want. You're left alone. You're in Texas. You have your girlfriend. We're here. We're back in Florida where you left us. Where you left us. Where you left us. You left us here for another bitch. You left us here. So you're mad because we're back here? I just want to be left alone. I just want to be left alone. I don't care. I don't care that you're happy and you're flying over here, you're driving over here. Ew, I don't give a shit about that fake ass bullshit fucking made for Instagram happy story. Ew. Oh my god, that's so gross. You guys, it's so disgusting because I know who he is and I know what's gone down. So when I see shit on Instagram, I'm just like, ew. Ew. Like Brandon and I, we had a fucked up relationship. I'm not gonna lie, because John was always trying to interfere in our relationship. Always. Oh, any chance he got, any fucking chance he got, he was trying to interfere in our relationship. So that put a lot of pressure on our relationship. Also, we always had the kids, so we couldn't go out and we couldn't do things like John could. We couldn't go and take pictures and go here and go there because we always had the kids. You know what I mean? Which is fine. That's me. That's my life. I always got my kids. That's totally fine with me. But he just tried to. My whole point is, I feel like Brandon and I's relationship was more about love and more organically brought together because when I got with him, I didn't want to sleep with John anymore. I didn't want to. I didn't want to sleep with John anymore. I didn't want to talk to John like that anymore. I mean, I was already, even when I was like single doing my thing, but like when I really made things official with Brandon, I didn't want to fuck with John like that anymore. Unlike John, he was with this girl this whole time trying to fuck with me. And it's like, that's not love, bro. I don't even know if you know what love is. I don't even think he knows what love is. But when you really love somebody, you want to give them your all. You know what I mean? And I did. I fell in love with Brandon. I did. Things happened, and it's not like that anymore. I still have love for him, but I don't want to be with him. But still, girl, it's just a hot ass mess. It's just a hot ass mess. That's why, please don't at me with no bullshit. Okay? If you're a fucking person who makes videos about me, like, it's so disgusting because married women cut for this type of shit. Like, y'all be rooting for a side bitch, and ew, it's just so disgusting. It's so disgusting. Like, I know what I've done. I know I've done fucked up things in my relationship. I know I have. But I tried to right my wrongs. I tried to do the right thing. And he's so selfish and he's so all about him. And no, this isn't about me playing the victim because I don't have to play the fucking victim. I take care of mine. I don't talk about it. I'm about it. When's the last time you paid for a fucking meal? You know what I mean? While you're busy um doing whatever the fuck you're doing, spending $200-300 at fucking Ross on you and your bitch. I'm over here taking care of my children. And you and people in his fucking comment section and people think want to talk about me as a mother when I've done nothing but take care of mines, been there for mines, provided, made a way. I made a way for my kids. I made a way for me and my kids through this social media shit. And he's trying to take me down. He's trying to fuck with me with what I got going. Nigga boo. You could never. You will never. Ever. Ever. And you'll never get my kids. I don't give a fuck. I don't care how many lawyers you got. I don't care about nothing like that. I don't care about nothing like that. I don't need a lawyer and I'll still keep my kids. Watch. Just watch. I don't have nothing to lie about. I've been honest and open this whole experience. Um, I don't have nothing to lie about. Like I said in my song, he chose that life that he's living. Does he want it deep down inside? No, he doesn't. But he's done so. Sometimes when you've done so much fucked up shit and that you can't come back from, you just gotta keep doing fucked up shit. You gotta keep going. You gotta just go with it now because you can't come back from it. And that's where he's at. He cannot come back from what he's done. He can't. Not with me. And he knows that. Mm-hmm. Hey Anna, welcome, babe. So before a bitch tries to talk on my marriage, before you try to talk on me, before you try to talk on anything, I think you should shut the fuck up and not talk on anything that you don't know nothing about. Okay? Because I should have done the right thing and got my husband back. I could be with him now. If that's what I wanted, I could be with him right the fuck now. Right now.
Okay, that is the end of this particular video. Oh, excuse me, video. And I just have some things that I just want to say. Okay, so in this part of the video, this last part, she's talking about the divorce, and she is basically saying that she wanted the divorce, but he didn't. Now, us people who've been around here for a while know that he did decide to divorce her. He was very, adamant about it. He was so adamant he hired a private detective to hunt her down in Florida because she would not give him her address to have her served. So I really find that interesting. But that's what she's saying, that he has not served her papers. So you guys on the internet stream, for the people who was Team Jerrod, this man ain't trying to divorce her. Yeah, he may be with Nisha, this woman who can read and all this other stuff that she decides is a put down. Nisha has a job, a career, and all that good stuff. But for Olivia, because she's a trumper, they don't value those kind of traits. But anyway, she said before she hightailed it back to Florida that Jerrod stopped by, and they had a talk, or he basically was pleading for her not to leave. And it wasn't about the kids, it was about her leaving. He didn't mention the kids. So, again, centering herself as the most important part of this story, the victim of the story, F the kids. Olivia was, F the kids before it was a thing. I mean, they are just accessories to her, in my opinion. So, she decides, that she's going to leave anyway, and all of a sudden she starts to see the stuff on Instagram. Now, I don't know if Jerrod felt more comfortable posting his and Nisha's relationship more once she left. I don't know. I don't even care about that. The most important part to me is that she's seeing stuff on Instagram. Now, it could be her loyalty gang sending her stuff because, excuse me, I do believe that people who support these content creators are people like Olivia and Jasmine and Chrissy, all of them. they have people who will send them stuff. Then you have people who send them stuff because they just want to see their reaction. But I do believe that Liv was stalking his Instagram and probably Nisha's at that time, because at that time we really did not know who Nisha was. I don't believe. I don't think we were on her Instagram. I'm not on her Instagram, but I know quite a few people were able to follow her and are still able to see her posts. Um, she did go into, like, once she's reflecting on her relationship with Brandon and how that was a relationship built out of love. That was a revenge relationship. Let's keep it a buck, Olivia. Once you found out about Nisha, you decided that it was time that you put your open for business sign out on your front door. And any man that was looking your way that you felt some type of way about, a little bit of a tingle, you know what I mean? You entertained them. And that was, it served two purposes. Number one, Olivia is hypersexual. I don't know what's going on with that. She never talked really anything about how she got to be that way. I don't know when that happened, but she equates sexual desirability to desirability in love, and not realizing that men at the very at the end of the day are base. In other words, their base instinct is to hunt and gather. And part of that hunt and gathering includes women, hunting for women and gathering women. If a woman is willing, they will accommodate. It is what it is. I don't know too many women who can't get a man to come over and put out that little fire, even if the guy is creeping through the window to do it, and you know he don't want nobody to know. A man is going to do what a man is going to do. Okay, so that's not a flex in my opinion, with Olivia, but she's basically saying that love that she had for Brandon couldn't flourish, and it could not really reach its pinnacle because Jerrod would not come and get the kids. So she wasn't kind of in a whirlwind with Brandon, and it involved a lot of drinking and other party favors that is not welcome here on YouTube to discuss. But let's just say Olivia was being wild, and that wild hair was not plucked with Brandon. You know, again, if there's Mr. Zolo Bears yet to make an entrance onto the scene. But she said, yeah, Jerrod wasn't coming to get the kids. So on one hand, when he wanted to get the kids, she didn't want to really send the kids with him because she didn't want him with the kids around Nisha. But on the other hand, he didn't get the kids enough so her and Brandon could really explore what was going on or what could have been. So it's Jerrod's fault. Again, it's making Olivia the victim. Let's see what else that I can Oh yeah, she admits her part. She does say, "Well, I did some things, but I've asked for forgiveness. I understand that, and I've tried to correct those wrong, which she didn't. She absolves herself of any responsibility. The minute she takes responsibility, she immediately absolves herself of responsibility. It's a thing. It's a thing that she continues to do today. She does it a little differently. Like I said, she's an expert at this now. This was 5 years ago. She has honed this game. She really understands her audience. And when I say her audience, I'm talking about even me. She knows how to get a reaction out of her haters. She knows how to get a reaction out of her loyalty gang. She knows how to get a reaction out of human beings who are susceptible to her game. She's really good at that. Um, let's see. Oh, and at the end of the day, too, she's really mad that before it was the internet against her and Jerrod. Even during the time when she went back down to Texas, because a lot of people have seen their relationship. They go back and forth with each other. We had no trust in Jerrod actually really meaning it, especially once she was in his space, because he has fell back to Olivia. Heck, he even left Nisha to go marry Olivia. So was it out of the realm of possibility that when she went back down to Texas, even though he told her not to go, that they would have been able to fix this, even with her having cheated? Because apparently, like I said, that was something that was common in their relationship. So can we really suspend belief that it wasn't possible that they were going to do this yin and yang? But when it became clear, thank you, Nisi, because Nisi filled in a lot of blanks for us. Listen, if Nisi was not around during this time, we would not really get a full picture of what's going on, okay? We would just have Olivia's version of it. And maybe I'll react to some of Nisi's stuff if I can find it. I think she took a lot of that stuff down. But I was in those lives, and sorry, Nisi was spilling the TT, and I know a lot of people were put off by her presentation and the way she carried herself, but there was a lot of tea in her lives. And if it wasn't for Nisi, shout out to you, big sis. Even though Olivia likes to claim that you're really not a part of the family, that she's more family than you are because she gave birth to Jerrod's 3 kids. You did fill in the blanks for us to give us a wider, more in depth picture of how the relationship was working and how he was really moving forward with Nisha. I said earlier on my previous reaction or the one before that, I don't remember, that it's very possible that Jerrod was tiptoeing back in the tulips during this time with Olivia. It was fresh, and maybe even a part of him felt like, it's a big thing to get divorced. I mean, it's really easy to get married, but divorce is a big thing. Now you really got some legal stuff that you have to deal with and unwind. And then you got someone like Olivia, who I think that was her ultimate goal. Actually, that was her 5-year plan. There's an old video with her and her mom. She wanted to be a married woman. As much as Olivia acts like that she's glad to be rid of Jerrod, she wanted that wife title. And she knows it's going for her to get it a second time is going to be hard, especially with an ex-husband, and 3 baby daddies. I guess the last thing I would say that kind of stood out to me during this section or this segment of this video was that Olivia was worried about her kids. I'm sorry, she was worried about her kids being taken from her. So I don't remember at that point custody being an issue. We knew that Jerrod was more or less fighting for visitation and her getting the kids to him. Okay. But she moved to Florida. So I guess in her brain, taking the kids away from her was him coming to Florida and bringing the kids back to Texas to spend time with him. Okay. And I think that's what, in the beginning, that's what he was looking for. And that's what he was doing. There's a whole issue about child support. That is a whole issue. And I wish, I mean, of course, she privated them, but let Liv tell it because she's not paying child support now. And how dare Jerrod ask her for child support? That was a big issue for her. She did want child support. She complained all the time about him not giving her money. Let her tell it today. That's not the truth. And again, like I said, because so much time has passed and she's privated these videos, and you got to know what to look for to even find the proof that she's a liar. And if you weren't around in these early years, you don't know this. You may hear people say it, but you might not have heard it yourself. Olivia did not. Sorry, Olivia wanted child support from Jerrod. This whole attitude that she has today is fake, false, and it's all about her just being a selfish bitch. I said it. She's been a selfish bitch, and she really wants to hurt Jerrod, and she doesn't care about those kids. So she was fearful of him getting an order, I think more than anything, an order that would give him visitation rights and um and now the child support part she wasn't, she was okay with, but I think it was the visitation. And again, like I said, she knew the most powerful thing that she held over Jerrod, and she still to this day is her kids. She is willing and ready and able to use her kids as pawns. And that is so sad to me. I laugh and I giggle in the in the chats, and I, say slick stuff here on these reactions. But at the end of the day, Olivia does not care. that her kids are suffering in all of this. And Robin is old enough. You can tell it. You could tell that Robin, as much as she can at her age, she gets what's really going on. She feels the tension. I think Christian is starting to. Ryan doesn't, and Ryan, bless her heart, she's a cutie patootie. I was on another content creator's video I was watching. Shout out to KP. She had brought up an oldie and it was showing baby Ryan, and I'm like, dang, I've been watching that long. Ryan is a walking and talking um, human being. I remember when she was still on Olivia's tit, she is something else. That child is something else. All of, the kids are, well, I want to listen. Whew, I'm trying to reach back to my ancestors. Kalani, for me, I'm still trying to figure out, Kaylani's thing and all this because right now I'm coming up with a blank slate, and don't take that as a put down or as an aside. I haven't really seen her personality. I can see her developing one, but all of her other kids, including AJ, they have very distinct personalities. And Um, a lot of people say sorry, not Ryan, Robin is a lot like Olivia. Well, Ryan, I don't know, maybe this is Nisha because that is basically Nisha's baby. I'm sorry, Olivia, I'm not sorry, but she got Ryan when she was a toddler. Ryan wasn't even potty trained when she went to go live with her dad and Nisha, but she's very compassionate, and I notice she's always sticking up for Christian. If you watch any of Olivia's videos when she has the kids and Olivia's going in on Christian, Ryan has his back. She also takes time to try to explain. Ryan tries to mediate. She's like the peacemaker. And God bless her heart because her mama is a hot mess. And I love the fact that she does that. But we could talk about the personalities of the kids on another day. I am going to go ahead and wrap up this reaction. I'm digging in the crates, I'm pulling out stuff, and I'm reacting to it. I'm trying to kind of follow a timeline, but if I don't, I'll at least keep it tight. So I'm going to go through my my research and see what I have up next. It may be something immediately after this video or before it, but it's definitely going to give you context. I'm really thinking about, and I mentioned it earlier in this reaction, a video of Jerrod and Olivia. And this is shortly after he made the decision. Now, this is a year prior to this video, roughly. Well, it would be November of 2020, where he made the decision to go back to Olivia and get married, go back to Florida and get married. And them two interacting is very interesting. The things they talk about and their body language is very interesting. So I may go ahead and do a reaction on that and upload that next, but who knows? Because like I said, sometimes when I'm going through my research, I hit up on a video and I'm like, you know what? I'll go ahead and react to that. So if you like this reaction, if you like me talking, because this is what I do very well. I talk. If you like this reaction, man, I wish I would have took this off. I had that darn icon over my face, but anyway, not icon, but overlay over my face. But anyway, if you like this reaction, if you like looking at these old clips of Olivia and in this saga that's still going on 5 years later. Um, yeah, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. And until I upload the next time, have a blessed day. Bye now. I'm out.
Yeah, yeah. Stacks in the pocket, she bank heavy with the soul. Birkin full of paper, dream she gunning for that gold. Auntie with no babies, but she still full-time mama. Dropping bars of wisdom hot as the sun in Ghana. She don't sugarcoat, nah, she season it raw. Truth cut sharper just the way she saw. Lipstick fierce, nails done in a spell, but her heart caught the softness. She holds you when you fell. Black auntie Flo, she queen of advice. Hit you with the truth, but the love real nice. She got no kids, but she raised the crew. Bank that wisdom, what she speak come true. Sunday sermon from the stoop, fans clapping hands. Every gem like currency, you cash where you stand. Crispy edges on her words like fried plantains, but she nurture every soul, calm wrath like rain. She go, baby, don't you play, get your hustle on lock. Love tougher than the steel sitting under her Glock. Oprah ambition, cooking dreams in a pot. Bought her own mansion, ain't depending on squat. Black auntie Flo, she queen of advice. Hit you with the truth, but the love real nice. She got no kids, but she raised the crew. Bank that wisdom, what she speak come true.